PT, short for Playable Teaser, is a first-person psychological horror game developed by Kojima Productions and published by Konami. It was released in 2014 for the PlayStation 4 exclusively. It was designed and directed by the legendary Hideo Kojima. It was meant to act as a demo of sorts for the then upcoming Silent Hills, the next installment in the terrifying Silent Hills franchise, one of my personal favorites being the horror game fanboy that I am. Unfortunately, Silent Hills was cancelled, and Konami, subsequently without any apparent reason, decided to remove PT from the PlayStation Store. This decision drew great criticism from fans. What follows will be the first of many logs regarding a project that I've decided to start. Please enjoy. Thank you. Welcome to my first devlog for my PT Remake project. Over the years, there have been attempts to remake the game on PC. Each attempt has been struck down by Konami, by the lawyers, but a lot of them did a great job. I mean, there was Punity, I believe it was called. It was a play on words for the engine that it was made with Unity, and obviously the name of the game PT, like Punity, and it did a pretty good job. But one did a bit of a better job, and that was Unreal PT. It was released about 2 years ago, and it's probably been the closest that we've come to getting a full remake of the game on PC. It was only missing a handful of things, and the remake itself was done with all remade assets as well. So they actually made each asset from the ground up and used it in their remake. And as a result, the end product doesn't look one-to-one with the original game. It comes very close though. My goal is to take all the assets from the original game files, which I have, convert them to a usable format that can be used in Blender for modeling and testing, and then eventually import them into Unity, where I can remake the game. Sorry, not Unity, Unreal Engine. I'm going to use Unreal Engine because I just think I'm more familiar with C++ than I am with C#, and it's a bit easier to make more realistic environments in Unreal Engine. You can do it in Unity, obviously, but it's a bit easier with Unreal Engine. I've managed to rip all the assets from the original game. I downloaded an original image of the game, of the PS4 version, obviously, and all the assets, I had to dig around for them. All the assets were originally in FMDL format, which is a model file format that was used in the Fox engine, which was the original engine that was used when making PT. And so I had to convert those FMDL files to a usable format that I could use in Blender, and which I did. I converted them to, I'll show you. So I've got a few folders here, one for textures, because I ripped the textures as well. I have all the original textures, and I've applied them to the models. I've also got all the original audio in WAV format and OGG format. I'm not sure which format I'll use. Then if we go into models, I've divided up, I've done my best to sort them out. So I've got my character models here. So I'll show you. I converted them into GLB formats. So I'll show you. So this is Lisa, who's the demon in the game, for those of you who don't know. Doesn't look very good in this video because of the lighting, but if I go into my renders, which I've made so far in Blender, wait, wrong one. You get a bit of a better idea of what they look like with more accurate lighting. I'll show you the rest later. So there are many models, believe me. I had to download a special tool into Unity, which can convert FMDL files into FBX format, and then I had to still then convert the FBX format into GLB format because the FBX format is ASCII, which you can't use in Blender, so I had to convert it into binary. So if we go into passage, for those of you who have played the game before, you'll probably recognize this immediately. This is the main passage of the game, because for those of you who don't know, the game mainly revolves around you looping in this endless passage over and over again. but it changes in small ways each time it gets altered. So you get a bit of a idea. This is just bare bones. There are tons of other stuff that come with it. This is just one model. I will show you the work that I've done so far. I've got a Blender file over here called testing. It will take a while to load because it's a lot of models that it has to load in. Just give it a moment. So I've used this Blender file to import all of the props and models that I have and arrange them how they are in the game. So I know exactly what I'm missing, what I still need, if I know exactly where everything's supposed to be, so that in the Unreal I can just move everything around quickly. I don't have to worry about where everything's supposed to go. I can just look at this and then know, okay, this goes here, this goes here. I used videos of playthroughs of the original game to determine where everything's supposed to go. So those of you who've played the game this will look very familiar to you. You'll also notice that some of the pictures I haven't put up yet. So I need to put all of them up. That's one of the last things I still have to do is put up the rest of the pictures. So you recognize the bathroom over here. I've also got all the characters. So I've got the baby character, the very disturbing deformity that it is. I've got the table with the sweets, the tablets, more pictures, and you've got the passage itself with the lights, and then you've got the plant with the desk. It's over there. You can't really see it though. Then you've also got all the bottles. For some reason the bottles are white. So they should be a darker color. I need to change that. I'm not sure why they ended up that way. And then there's the famous light, which we all know about. Makes that horrible creaking sound, or screeching sound I should say. And then you've got the balcony up here where Lisa appears in the shadows. Scares the shit out of you. I remember that all too well. And then you've got the starting room, which is over here. I was very lucky because when I converted these models to JLB formats, all the textures got automatically applied to them. I just had to put all the textures into one folder and then point the converter in Unity to that folder with the textures in it, and then it automatically applied the textures to each model. I just knew exactly what textures went on what, so that saved me a lot of time, a lot of effort. I'm really happy about that. So all the textures are exactly where they should be. You can see the markings on the wall. I need to just put the table and the bag in the corner, but I'll do that at a later stage. So there isn't that much left for me to do in terms of arranging all the models. So I'm going to turn on cycles quickly, and then I'll give you a better view of everything. It's just going to take a while to load in all the lighting. I've tried to arrange the lights in a very, as best I can to replicate the original look. So this gives you a bit of an idea of where I am at the moment. The lighting, it looks a bit off. It isn't 100% how it should look, so I've got a bit of work to do there. But I'm pretty happy with where I am so far. So if anybody knows how you would import these models into Unreal with the textures applied to them, or maybe if there's a different way that you have to do it, just let me know, because I'm not really 100% sure of that. If you're interested in helping out in any way, so that'd be quite useful. So this is from one angle. Let me change the angle a bit so you can get a different view. It takes a while because I'm only working with a GTX 1050. But it gets the job done, to be honest. I'm quite patient. So you've seen that. Close that now. And that's what all there is for the Blender folder. This is essentially, this is a bit of a compilation of all the work I've done so far. My next devlog is going to be when I start actually working with everything in Unreal and putting everything together. And then I'll show you some renders in Blender that I've done. This is when I was still this is still early work, so the lights are missing, um, doors missing, yeah. There's no bottles, for example. And this is at a slightly later stage, more things are added, and I've added even more now, so it will look a bit different now as well. And then here is Norman Reedus, he's the main character you play as. Well, the actual character's name isn't Norman Reedus, that's the actor who the model is based on. But here's a render of his model in cycles. Basically, I want it to be a PC port, not just a remake, but a PC port. Regarding why I've decided to start doing this, I'm somebody who greatly values game preservation. And looking at the gaming industry today, looking at how these corporations just want more and more control over us, I just figured this is my way of fighting back, you know, just just, just as also just as a little project for me to do in the meantime, just to keep myself busy. Because at the moment I'm learning 3D modeling, I'm also learning C++, although I'm quite familiar with it already. You can always learn more. You can never like totally learn C++. So yeah, and I figured this was a good way to combine those two fields. So I'm very enthusiastic. I'm very excited for this. And on that note, I will end this log. I'm excited for the next one. Hope you are too. Cheers.